Hey traders, just gonna do a quick recap for crude oil. Just what I was looking at on the day today. I mean, still sort of seeing this this rebalancing sort of take place, and some interesting sort of developments here. I mean, initially it looked like we were going to possibly see a larger sort of trading range sort of develop here, but at the moment we're just still fighting with value acceptance lower. I mean, we're just rejecting this this pretty much this trading range that was developing here with this sort of bracket balance area. I mean, this carnage here was just, seemed like just a big stop run, and just some short covering on the contract rollover. So I mean, they knew, all of the traders that were short, they sort of came in and potentially rolled over their positions on contract rollover here. So the most important sort of areas to sort of look at was this balance here, this 4-day balance that we see, and as you can see, we're just not finding any real sort of innovative buyers at the moment. I mean, we came in today and we sort of rejected that previous day's range, and I'll show it on the TPOs. So we came in this morning and we sort of find that responsive buyer off of the open, just auctioning to the extreme of yesterday's high, and then we sort of see that pullback to the point of control in B, and we see that nice spike higher, and we started to auction higher. I started to one time frame, and I was potentially looking for targets. Just 2 seconds. I mean, this is our current distribution bell curve overlay as a discretionary sort of demand curve overlay. Sorry, I get tongue tied there. So I was potentially looking for this to auction to sort of the upper end of this extreme. Sort of looking at this sort of 4880s as a sort of potential destination target, and we just couldn't do that today. I mean, we came in and we peaked above yesterday's high of day, and we tried to find buyers, and we ended up seeing just this big liquidation. I mean, just it looked like there was some potential cap in here. I mean, if we look at the footprint, just real quick, you can see here the market sort of spiked higher. We see some pretty good volume coming in, but there was just a lot of resting sell orders on the tape, and there was some aggressive selling coming in. I mean, basically Delta was just plus 13 for this whole bar, and we sort of see this compression. And once we come in, we broke the one time frame, and you can just see this huge liquidation down, and you can just see as there was like a build up of inventory, sort of potential buy side inventory, the previous high day, trying to lock prices outside of that previous day's range with more price expiration. But you can just see the stops that just got nailed here. I mean, you can see here there was 449 on the sell side, and there was 104 to the buy side, and there was just this cluster of absorption here, but they just seemed to get just nailed out the market. There was just this big stop run. You can see all the zero prints here where just someone just came in and aggressively hit the bid down. So anybody who was trying to accumulate inventory here, they seem to have just got stopped out, and we see a pullback down. We just see this sort of rotational two-way behaviour come back into the market, but there was just nothing. We just really couldn't push above this real high volume node area. I mean, there's this level at this 4803, and like 600 contracts got traded on the buy and sell side. There was just a heavy cluster of volume here, and the market just basically got capped at this price level, and we just couldn't trade above it, and we just ended up seeing two-way trade come back into the market for the rest of the day with these quite wild swings. I mean, we sort of saw 115 ticks on the day. This is just the pit session here, and you just see that it was just very rotational, up down, and just again, like I said, two-way trade. And we came back in, we tested that previous day's mean and the VPARC, and there was an interesting scenario here. I mean, I thought they were going to potentially run the stops below today's low, and potentially come back down and test this sort of 4680 with a spike down, which would have sort of cleaned some inventory out of the market, and then just a pull back into range. But I mean, we just see again just more capping on this low. I mean, this is the low. We came down. You can see that there was someone. There was just some heavy absorption here. I mean, there's 217 on the bid, and then there was 111 on the ask, and Again, there was some more resting sort of buy orders here at 47.05. So it just seemed the market got capped again here, and then once this capping came in, it just sort of spiked back into the day's range, and then these weak inventory below was just untested. So at the moment we've got more, in my perspective, we've got excess at the high, we've got excess at the low of this current auction, but we're just sort of seeing this balancing trading range, and to me there was some heavy stops below this sort of $47 a barrel level here. I mean, obviously there's going to be some stops higher, but there just seems to be buyers are coming in and they're just not getting anywhere. I mean, cumulative delta over the last couple of days has been seen. The order flow seemed aggressive to the sell side, so either buyers are stepping in here and they're taking some profits, potentially in front of the ECB meeting tomorrow and the inventory report, until we get the next directional move. Like I said, that there will be buyers here, and they're just basically would be longer term short, so more sort of short covering. I mean, if we do look at this profile now, I mean, it does. I suppose this is. I suppose you could call this long liquidation with the profile shape, but that's not the case here. I mean, like I said, we're just seeing a balancing range here, but just very indecision days where nothing's really happened. We're just seeing this rotational sort of compression coming to the market. And if we do look at the 240-minute chart, just as another sort of perspective, I mean, we are seeing. I mean, I was sort of just counting the waves here to see if we could see an uptrend develop, and we sort of had that first wave. We see the pullback, and we just see no follow through. At the minute, we're seeing potential in Elliott wave theory, whatever you want to call it, just an ABC retracement before we move away to the upside. But this is going to fail below this $96 a barrel area low. And from what I can see at the minute, with what's happening with the build up in inventories, obviously the US dollar continuing to rally and put pressure on commodities, I do still think that we are potentially going to see at least a test deeper into this sort of $45 a barrel area, and maybe a potential test of this $44 a barrel, and we'll go from there. But at the minute, I'm just not seeing, I'm not really seeing the buyers have any strength here. They kind of lost momentum. I mean, what I was sort of speculating here with this profile, but I wanted to see them come up and start filling in some higher distributions. But I mean, we're just not. The market doesn't seem to be finding any higher value at the moment. And again, we're just rejecting that 4-day balance previously, and we're actually again building lower value here. So, and again, sort of the fairest price is at 47.50. So, it'll be interesting to see as the VPUX moves, where we're going to continue to try find price exploration to the sell side and deeper into the lower 40s, or whether we're actually going to find a stopping price at the current Globex low of 44.20 on the year, and we're going to finally sort of see these sellers give up, and we're going to see a test of last year's low. But at the moment, like I said, from what I can see, we are still building lower value on the current trade that we're seeing. So interesting to see how, obviously, this news comes out tomorrow with ECB, how that affects all of the currencies, and how the inventory report comes out tomorrow. I mean, like I said, I know that the report that we see normally on Tuesday from the API sort of number that comes in, obviously confirms with the inventory on Wednesday. Obviously, we've seen that push back. That normally comes out on Tuesday evening, then we see the inventory report on Wednesday. But obviously, with the holiday on Monday, we've seen the API report come out today, and we've got obviously inventories tomorrow at 11. So I think I've not checked the calendar, but I'm pretty sure it's normally 11 o'clock. It's normally half an hour later than normal when we see a holiday that pushes the date back a day. So it'll just be interesting to see where we open. I mean, if we start to open again and below sort of yesterday's range in this lower area, I mean, I do think that we're potentially going to test lower and come down and test this sort of $46 a barrel area, and then we'll have to go from there, see if we break out of this sort of 4-day balance that we're in. Obviously, go with the directional breakout of this 4-day balance, and just keep an eye on the current market extremes. So it's just have to keep a close eye on everything that's developing at the moment. we do look at the sort of higher time frame perspectives, I mean, we are holding value in this week's value, and we can't seem to find offers above this $48 a barrel, which is last week's value area high. So we are still looking rotation on the week. It's an inside week at the moment. It's very compressed. If we do look at the moving averages, I mean, we're sort of finding sellers off of this 10 exponential moving average. The 5 EMA is flattening out, and the 20-day moving average is catching up. So I mean, value is catching up with price, and obviously that's something else to keep an eye on. And obviously something else to keep an eye on here is this month's value. I mean, I was expecting. I mean, the value on the month is so flat at the moment. I mean, it shouldn't really be holding the support, but then again, we're holding the support, and we're finding sellers from here. So we're finding indicative sellers off of Vwap at the moment. What it looks like. And we just couldn't push above this today. I mean, the Vwap, the VPUC for the month is at 48.61, and that's my first sort of initial area. And I mean, I was looking long today, looking for price expiration, trying to get some targets filled up here, but we just couldn't see offer through the value area high on the week and this month's Vwap. So I mean, at the moment, it's telling me we're going to see again a potential rotation down to 46.30, and we're going to maybe come back and test this 1.5 standard deviation. And like I said, from the way things are looking at the moment, it does look like we want to roll over again, and we're seeing these lower lows back in the market. Well, it is just we're seeing compression at the moment. I mean, if we draw it like this, I mean, we're just seeing the compression. I mean, however way you want to draw it, I don't really draw it like this, but I mean, I can see that the market is coiling. So when the market coils, we see energy building. I mean, it's going to move one way or the other, and if the market does give to the buy side, then we could see a sort of nice pullback again to last year's low. And again, if we continue to find sellers, which it sort of looks like at the minute with price expiration to the downside, then obviously this 44 sort of 20 area needs to be kept an eye on. And if we see a decent breakthrough there, then obviously the next sort of major support level is going to be psychologically this sort of 40 area. I mean, run through the sort of high time frame stuff on the forum, so if you do have any sort of questions with that. I mean, we have hit our first support level. We did find the reaction, but we're not seeing the follow through. I mean, we're just not seeing that the follow through that we were going to possibly see with buyers entering the market. But again, like I said, we're just seeing two-way trade, this balance, and at the moment, like I said, it does feel like without making any assumptions that we do want to sort of test lower to try find buyers. So, and then we'll go from there. But anyway, that's just what I'm seeing at the moment on the higher time frames. In regards to what I did today, once we sort of see that indicative buy-in and the test of the previous higher day, I looked to buy the pullback here. I mean, I didn't fade openly this pullback to the VPUC, but I mean, as soon as we start to come back into value on the day, and if you do look here, we pull back to the VWAP on the Globex session. I mean, this is where I sort of initiated my long positions and managed to sort of get scaled with price expiration. And then, like I said, we broke that previous high day, and I sort of started to add to my position here, looking for potential price expiration and a break higher. We just came up to here, and there's this huge cluster of volume, and we just couldn't come back in. We broke that 1.5 standard deviation. We sort of came back in for potential further imbalance, and as you can see, there was just the market basically just got capped. We couldn't trade above that high volume cluster above us, and we just come back into balance on the day. So after this happened, I sort of exited my my long positions on the day. The market raced all the way back down to the developing value area low. Well, this is the RTH VWAP, but I mean, it sort of caught up with same sort of thing happened here. We came back and tested the same sort of levels. So I mean, just again, it's just two-way trade came back in, so it's just destination trades that we were looking for, and the market came back up. And at this point, obviously, two-way trade come back in the market, and we'd seen nice excess from this D period here. So I started to look for just the destination trade down, and again a potential breakdown lower into the previous day's range. I mean, I was looking to sort of target this 46.80 area, and again, nice destination trade. Got some good scales, and we blasted back into this previous day's range and sort of cleared out some stops below the low of day currently. But we just couldn't we see that passive absorption, and the market kind of got capped, and we just see a spike back in K. So it's just got a nice sort of rotation long and a nice rotation short. There's no decent follow through to the buy side or to the sell side, and on either trade. So, but there was multiple opportunities on both sides of the market today. I mean, realistically, I was trying to lean to the buy side, with obviously the market building higher value, but like I said, we see two-way trade, and we just couldn't see no follow through. So that was pretty much it for the day. So obviously tomorrow we've got the news out, we've got inventories, we've got all this stuff with the ECB going on. So I should imagine that we should start seeing volatility pick back up again. I mean, we've just rolled over to the March contract, so I'm sure that traders will be repositioning once they get a better feel for the next sort of directional conviction in the market. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask, and good luck, and I'll catch you all tomorrow. Take care and goodbye.